So we are back with another Icarus update week 147 with a massive new item, encyclopedia in the field guide, which is actually going to be really good for all players, not just new players, specifically new players because it can be overwhelming with the amount of stuff that's actually in the game now, especially with the weekly updates. There's constantly new things being added all the time. So it's nice to have that little guide to actually show you where to go. So yeah. Anyway, so let's start off with the notable improvements. There is quite a few, so I'll go through them as quickly as possible before we move on to the main part of the update. So, notable improvements. Prospects without local save files are no longer shown on the load screen. This should fix the issue where players would incorrectly see past multiplayer games in this list without having access to the save file. Mounts are now bound to the account that claimed them instead of the specific character. This should fix the issue where players bringing down mounts that were claimed by a different character on the same account weren't able to properly access it. Modifier state icons are now ordered in a list, so basically biome, aura, permanent buff and debuff, and then you've got temporary buff and debuff. Further adjustments to player lighting with a focus on light strength progression. Wood rag torch, wood flare, biofuel lantern, and then obviously the flashlight. Added CPU access to beds, fur that didn't already have it, along with the fur for the black wolf trophies. This is to fix crashing when placing down a black wolf trophy and may re-enable the fur on the beds. Added cargo hauling talent option to horse and Tyrannus talent trees. Buffalo and other mounts have their roll and twist rotation zeroed on reload. This should be a reliable band-aid fix for issues where mounts would become permanently rotated on an angle. Fixing the charging device as it was no longer charging powered objects after the new data table enum switch. Not coming to that problem, but honestly, I only really charge my lantern on there anyway. Chickens will now automatically deposit their eggs into a nearby coop within 10 meters if they're unable to path inside for whatever reason. So there we go. That is the notable improvement. So let's move on to the main part of the update, which is the field guide update. So the field guide has been upgraded to include a new item section. This new feature acts as an encyclopedia for all in-game items, showing where they're craftable, what materials they need, what they're used for, what other recipes require them, what stats they have, and what sets they belong to. Each item is also linked to all related items, so you can navigate quickly when researching your next recipe to craft. J is the default key, which is it's like basically J for journal. I'm assuming that's why they've chose that, or maybe they just ran out of keys. I don't know, but yeah, so that gives you access to the in-game field, the field guide. We've also linked this inside each item's context menu, so you can open the field guide directly as you play. This is a substantial quality of life upgrade design so that any future items added will appear with all their relevant connections and information from the day they're introduced. Ultimately, this should replace the need to Google this information and leave the game to find it, which makes sense. I see so many people asking questions about the game constantly, so now we've got the information in the game. So it's just basically so you can just keep playing. You don't have to keep like coming out to Google like they just says and try and find out where to get something and whatnot, because it's not straightforward. But now it's going to be, because we've got a guide there. But that's going to be a lot of information to go through to be able to find what you're looking for. So that is actually a good thing, I think, in my opinion. That's a really, really good thing. I mean, even someone that's played for a long time, it's dead easy to just forget. You know, if you've not crafted something for a while, and then because you've been busy with other stuff or whatnot, then because I do a lot of building, so I don't always start. Because sometimes when you start a game, and then you play it through, and then you'll come back later to start it again, you would have forgot about the beginning bit, if that makes sense. So unless you're constantly playing it, then yeah, fair enough. But you get the point anyway. So for even the old players, the veteran players and the new players, this is going to benefit everybody. Okay, so obviously we know that the North Sector is coming soon. But if you actually own Station Airs and Icarus, you will now get a exclusive Station Airs bobbleheads. I haven't actually got Station Airs. I don't know whether I'm going to get it or not. I might actually get it. I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you want to see that. That actually came out in 2017, actually. I'll have to see whether it's actually any good or not, and whether it's worth me doing, and whether it's something I would enjoy. But it's like a base building, space, science, colony sim, automation. So is it like factory? It was like, like Dyson Sphere and stuff like that. I would have thought, maybe. Base building, and it's also in space as well, so that's a plus. Okay, so next week, quality of life. Quality of life. We all love quality of life. So next week, we'll be focusing on further testing of the null sector zones, and I'll plan to open up the experimental branch early for players to give us feedback while we iron out any bugs. As for the update, we plan to release a few small quality of life fixes next week while this is happening. So it looks like we're getting closer and closer to getting the expansion, so I'm really pleased about that. So hopefully I'll start doing some live streaming on Saturday where we'll have a look at the missions. There's going to be 5 missions, I believe, and it might take me more than one stream to do one mission, I think, from what it looks like anyway. So that is it from me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.